Look at that motorcycle. That motorcycle is going to set fire at the Buddh International Circuit today. In fact, that motorcycle is already setting fire in international markets like Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and now it is finally here. And so am I. Ladies and gentlemen, after dozens of spy shots and jaw-dropping rumors, let's say hello to the street fighter version of the R15, the naked MT-15. Now, before we jump into the crux of the matter, here are a few things that we already know. So the MT-15 borrows the same engine from the R15, which means the same power and same torque. In fact, it's making those numbers at exactly the same RPM as well. But Yamaha have gone ahead and reworked the ECU on the MT-15 for better bottom end torque as well as mid-range punch. Now, the earlier versions of the R15 were high-revving engines, but with the introduction of variable valve actuation in the 3.0, things have gotten linear. And the MT-15, things here have gotten even better. Another thing that the MT-15 borrows is the same suspension setup, which means telescopic forks on the front, a shock at the rear. Yes, like you are seeing, there are no USD forks like in the international model. Things are a little different here as well because the internals of the monoshock at the rear have been tweaked for a softer setup than the R15. Obviously, we are at BIC Buddh International Circuit where there's just smooth, flat tarmac. So that review will definitely happen when we get the bike for a longer time. Other components that are borrowed, the slipper clutch, the same brake setup. But this one gets a single channel ABS, not a dual channel ABS as the R15. Now let's try a bit more to figure out the answers to the questions that we don't know. Answers for those people who are waiting to buy the MT-15. The MT-15 is a street fighter, which means the steering geometry of the bike has been changed to make it more agile while riding in city traffic. Here, there is no traffic. Out here, we have got technical turns, fast-flowing corners and hairpins as well. Now, with the absence of the fairing on the front, there is very little weight, which means even with the slightest input, the MT-15 is very eager to turn. The new state of tune for the engine and the rear sprocket have been engineered to suit city riding. What has also changed is the swingarm construction from aluminium die-cast to steel box section. Now, this is indeed a cost-saving measure, but do not consider this as a downgrade. The MT was always meant to be a street fighter and almost all of you guys are going to ride this in the city. The box section should not be a problem.
What can be a problem though are the brakes. During our stint at the Buddh International Circuit, the brake setup had very little feedback and feel.
As you can see, the MT-15 is ergonomically way better than the R15. And the comfort quotient has been carried on to the pillion as well, because gone are the split seats of the R15. This here gets a single seat, but more to talk about on that front when we get the bike for a full review. Now, in case you're wondering, why have I not spoken about the looks? And that is because I wanted to save the best for the last. This is one good looking motorcycle. How can you not like the way it looks? LED lamps, proper street fighter bores. I think this is one of the best lower capacity naked motorcycles that we now have in the country. Having said that, the R15 with its committed riding posture and fairing, I think will make a more suitable bike to set some really fast lap times around here. The MT-15 for me, I think it will behave its best when it's in the city. I could probably take it out right now, filter through some traffic without breaking a sweat. That is what makes street fighters so delicious. But then there's a problem. If you're thinking that the absence of a dual channel ABS, that swing arm and a fairing would have made things more affordable, you're wrong. At rupees 1.36 lakh ex showroom, it is now only 3,000 rupees cheaper than the R15. In fact, it's way more expensive than the 150s, the 160s and even the 200s. And now suddenly, the KTM Duke 125 makes a lot of sense. Or does it?
But if you do not fancy spending over a lakh for a premium commuter, you can always turn your head to the FZ. Speaking of which, you won't have to wait for too long to know more about that one either. For now,
I am Varun Painter and I will see you later.